We're getting ready to start part 3 of factoring, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is kind of difficult. I'm going to do 3 problems. I'm going to try to take my time with it. It uses a lot of the same techniques that we did for both of the other lessons in factoring. You need to watch the video all the way through. If this works out like I want, I'm putting this on Delta Math, and Delta Math, make sure you watch it. What I'm saying is, to get full credit, you have to watch the video all the way through. My understanding is, if I make this worth 10 points and you watch 60% of it, you only get 6 points. So I think you need to watch it anyhow, but there's some point incentive there too. All right, this problem starts out, okay, this one, if you look at it, in day 1, we just made it into the multiplication of 2 monomials. You know, like it'd be like x plus 3 times x minus 1. The second day, I had you factor out like a 2 or a 3, and that left it a nice clean problem like you did the period before. This one's different. Look, in front of the b squared, you've got a 6. In front of the 13, in front of the b, you've got a 13 and a minus 5. All of those, or I should say, none of those are divisible by any of the same numbers. So we have to handle this one different. All right. The first thing we need to do is multiply the coefficient, that's the number in front of the b squared, times the constant. All right. We multiply those together, we get minus or negative 30. Right? I need to put a list together, just like that first day, of the numbers that multiply together to give me negative 30. One of those sets will add together to give me 13. Just like magic, boom, they're there. All right, I need to look at the list. Which set of these, and like I said before, this is the set of this is the total list of sets that multiply together to give me negative 30. Right, now one of these sets is going to add together to give me 13. I need to identify which one it is. It's not the first one or the second one. Let's see, negative 15 plus 2. Yeah, I mean, no, duh, that doesn't work. All right, let's check the next one. Positive 15 plus negative 2, that gives me positive 13. That's the one we want. All right, this isn't as nice and neat as the other one where we just put the 15 and the negative 2 inside brackets. We have to do an extra step. Here's the extra step. All right, we make a box. All right, with 4 quadrants. All right. First thing I want to do, and this is procedural, so you're going to have to practice it. I bring down my square, 6b squared, right? And put it in that upper left-hand side. Then I bring down the negative 5 and put it into the lower right-hand side. Right. Next thing I do is I go over and fetch the set that works. You want to put it in the boxes that are left along with the letter or the variable. So that's going to be 15 and minus 2. Oops, I forgot my b. Don't forget the b. And don't forget your variable. All right. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. All right. I look at this, and I'm going to do the upper row, 6b squared and 15b. I want to find the greatest common factor. All right. 6 and 15, the largest number that I can factor out is going to be a 3. All right. And both of them have a b. I can factor out a b out of both of them. All right. Now I'm going to do the bottom row. I've got negative 2b, negative 1. What's the largest number I can factor out? It's going to be a -1. 2 and 5, one's an even number, one's an odd number. There's just nothing else I can factor out of that one. All right, that's my verticals. Now I'm going to do my horizontals. I'm going to start with the 15b and the -5. Right? The largest number I can factor out of both of those is a 5. Right? 5 goes into 15b 3b times, and 5 goes into -5 negative once. All right, negative one. Yeah, negative once. All right. Now I look at my final column, 6b squared, -2b. The largest number that I can factor out of that is a 2b. 2b will go into 6b squared, and it'll go into -2b. All right. So at this point, you're actually done. Let me show you. The answer to this is 2b plus 5 plus 3b minus 1. All right. If you want to check that, you can go back and check your grid. This is why the grid's nice, because you go back and see if your if it works. Okay. Upper left-hand corner. 2b times 3b equals 6b squared. Check. That works. All right. So I'm going to put that down here. 6b squared. All right. Upper right-hand side. 5 times 3b equals 15b. That works. All right. Let's check the bottom left-hand side. 2b times -1 equals -2b. So that one works. And finally, 5 times -1 equals the -5 down the corner. Put it all back together. All I got to do is combine those two terms in the middle. I end up with plus 13b minus 5. That's where we started out, so that checks out. If you do this box right, you don't need to go back and double check it. All right? If you do the box right, you're fine. Take a deep breath. It's not that bad. This takes practice. I think the first factoring you did, I think it's pretty easy. The second one, it's notched up a little bit, but it's not too bad. This is difficult. All right. Let's get started on this. The first thing everybody usually forgets, is you have to multiply these two numbers. Right. That's the numbers that you're gonna use to find the sets. All right. Let's start multiplying these together. All the things that equals 24. This is going to be an extensive list because 24 is one of those numbers that has lots of things. So it's going to be -24, -1, 24, and 1. People forget about the negatives. Let's see, -12, -2, +12, +2. Don't forget your 8s. -8, -3, +8, +3, 6s, -6, -4, 6, and 4. I think that's it. All right. That's the sets that multiply together to give me 24. All right. To back up a little bit, this is known as A times C in math, because this is supposed to be your A, this is supposed to be your B, and this is your C. All right. So this is known as A times C. So 8 times 3 is 24. This is my total list of numbers that multiply together to give me 24. One of these is going to add together to give me -10. All right. Not the first one, not the second one. Let's see. -12 plus -2 is -14. It's not that one. 12 plus 2 is 14. Nope. -8 plus -3 is -11. Nope. 8 plus 3 is +11. Nope. -6 plus -4 is -10. We've got a winner. All right? So, this is just the second time you've seen it. Don't worry that if you don't have this down yet. I would suggest you be taking notes for when you take your test or your quiz. All right? So here's the box. I bring down the 8a squared. Nothing happens to it. I just bring it down. And I bring down the plus 3. All right? Also know that whatever this is, it's going to be to the a, or times a. And my set was -6 and -4. All right. Now we're going to do the thing where we take out the greatest common factor. On the bottom, okay, I'm going to do my horizontals first. So I'm going to do the -4a, and I'm going to do the positive 3. Right? The greatest number that comes out of both of those is a -1. All right. Let's do my other horizontals. All right, 8a squared and -6, that's going to be 2a. See, I can't get a 3a into both. I can't get a 4, so it's 2a. All right, now I'm going to do my verticals. Let me do the a to a and the -4a. The greatest thing that I can factor out of both of those is a 4a. And finally, the -6a and the 3, the greatest number I can get out of both of them is a -3. All right, sometimes you have to play with this to make it work, but let's see if this works. 4a times 2a equals 8a squared. Yep. -3 times 2a gives me -6a. That one works. 4a times -1 gives me -4a. That works. -3 times -1 gives me +3. That works. So I'm done. All I have to do is combine these, just like before. 4a minus 3 times 2a minus 1. You might have to watch these again. So just, like I said, just take your time with these. All right, final question. I'm going to go through the final problem that I'm going to do for y'all. I'm going to go through this one fairly quick. All right. First thing I want to do is multiply the 6 times the 12. That's my A times my C. And I'm going to get 6 times negative, I'm going to get -72. All right. Put together the list of all the things that multiply together to give me -72. All right. First one's relatively easy. The next one is 36 and 2 negative 36 and -2, -18 and 4, 18 and -4. The next one is 12, -12 and 5. Next one is 12 and -5. Next one is -9 and 8. And the next one is 9 and -8. All right. This actually has a few more, but this is as far as I go because I've already looked ahead. Here's what I'm looking for. As I put these together, I'm already scanning this. I mean, I don't like doing any more work than I have to. So I'm already looking through this list and finding. I want to find one of these sets that adds together to give me -1. And remember, this -x is the same thing as being -1x. So I'm looking for one of these sets that add together to give me -1. And as I go down through here putting these together, you know, I really don't even need to put these up there, right? After you've did this a little while, you know that you don't have to do it. None of these, but now I'm down here, right? -9 plus 8 gives me my -1. This is what I'm looking for. I can just stop there. You don't have to put together this list. All right. As soon as you find the one you're looking for, you can stop. It's always helpful to look up here and see what number that you're looking for that adds together. So negative 9 times 8 is negative 72. Negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. So I've got the winner there. All right, make my box. All right, bring down my 6x squared. All right, I bring down my negative 12. And I know this is going to be an x, and this is going to be an x. And I know that from this set over here, I want negative 9, and I want positive 8. All right. I'm going to do the top row first. 6x and negative 9x. The largest number that you can factor out of both is a 3x. They both got an x in them. And you can factor a 3 into a 6 and negative 9. All right. 8x and negative 12. It's going to be plus 4, positive 4. Right? Now, the one thing I will tell you is sometimes after when you go back to check your box, sometimes you're going to have to adjust this negative and positive, but the numbers are going to be legit. They're going to stay the same. This is going to be 2x, because 2x goes into 6x squared, 2x goes into 8x, and I know that this one is going to be negative 3. All right? So we're done, but I'm going to check this real quick. 2x times 3x is 6x squared, good. Negative 3 times 3x is going to be negative 9x. 2x times 4 is going to be 8x. And negative 3 times 4 is going to be negative 12. So this is good. Our answer is going to be 3x plus 4. That's my verticals. Times 2x minus 3. If you need help on any of these, watch these videos again. This takes a lot of practice. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is difficult stuff.